Welcome to the School of Love, the place where miracles are normal. Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to the School of Love, the place where we learn practical tools based on scientific research and personal experience towards improving ourselves, living life to its fullest, and contributing to the best of our abilities to the world around us. I'm Dr. Grajdian, and I am Associate Professor of Media Studies and Anthropology at Hiroshima University. In my free time, I am doing my best to guide you in building up a life of contentment, joy, and fulfillment while applying lessons learned in school to overcome the difficulties, challenges, and insecurities of the real world. In today's video, I talk about how to start telling the truth, or at least to stop lying, in 3 simple steps. As someone who has found herself repeatedly in the situation to lie, or at least to hide the truth in order to avoid trouble, only to find myself later on in the middle of existential storms without knowing how I got there in the first place, and several times throughout the past decades, I know how challenging and even daunting this can be. First, the decision to do something about lying, or at least telling the truth, then to stick to the decision to actually do something about it. But sometimes we just find ourselves in the wrong life stage with unsuitable people around us who seemed so suitable just a while ago, and it feels like watching a movie, which is our own life, as if it were someone else's life. For whatever reasons which might have led to that situation and which might have kept us in it, we feel stuck and increasingly resentful towards our own self. An experience as well as research shows that staying there will only make matters worse. By the end of this video, you will have 3 simple steps to implement in order to start telling the truth, or at least to stop lying, so that you can move forward in life with serenity and dignity. But now, first things first, that is 2 important disclaimers. The first disclaimer serves to strongly emphasize the fact that this YouTube channel, The School of Love, is not part of my educational and research activities at Hiroshima University. It is nonetheless part of my privilege, joy, and sense of duty to propagate and implement knowledge, information, as well as motivation and inspiration outside the limited framework of academic endeavors. Together, we can build up a better tomorrow for as many of us as possible. The second disclaimer relates to the fact that I am a trained musician and musicologist, not a psychologist, therapist, or counselor. The ideas I am sharing in my videos reflect my deep-going preoccupation with life, my own life and the life of other people, and express the results of my experiences, research, and, for better or for worse, my failures, as well as my recovery from those failures, recovery which is still ongoing. The ideas expressed in the videos on this channel named The School of Love cannot and may not and must not replace the consultation with specialists in whichever areas of your life you might have questions or you might struggle with. If you are new to the channel, at this moment, I would like to ask you to please consider subscribing, sharing, liking, commenting. Thank you very, very much. This helps us not only with that mysterious algorithm, which seems to dominate the YouTube galaxy, but also with contributing to the expansion of the community of humans doing their best to impact positively the world and those around them by discovering their authentic selves and living life wholeheartedly. Thanks again. And now back to today's topic, which is how to tell the truth, or at least how to stop lying. So I will, as I have mentioned, I will start with the short definition of what it means to tell the truth, or at least to stop the lying. I know we all know this, and then I will deliver some signs that it is really that bad that you have to stop doing it, or to start doing it, whatever parameter you might take into account. And then I'll deliver these 3 simple steps as principles, not as principles which transcend, so to say, the general practical advice. So what it means when we lie, generally speaking, people lie for two main reasons. One is to avoid conflict, and the other one is to embellish themselves. Both of them are actually a way of dealing with a world in which we feel like we are not good enough or we are not able enough. And the first step in doing this, so, and signs are doing that we are doing this, and that you need to stop doing this, refers to that you find yourself increasingly in complicated situations with people who in turn are lying for these two major reasons, or for other reasons. Like, there are a couple of other minor reasons, and then we have the plethora of even individual reasons why people lie, or at least do not tell the truth. So the problem is that if one lies or does not tell the truth, or hides the truth, one feels oneself untrustworthy, and consequently does not believe that other people are trustworthy as well. This is the biggest problem. In order to function as humans in a society, and in order for society to be functional, we need to trust each other. And trusting each other actually starts with trusting oneself. But if you know that you are lying, or at least hiding the truth, or at least not telling the truth, regardless of whether you do it actively, passively, or proactively, the problem is, once we cannot develop trust towards ourselves, we cannot develop trust towards the others. I don't want to get into too many details why I know this and why I have been observing this, because I'm not here to blame anyone or any type of society and so on. But what I know is that telling the truth, standing up for oneself, or if necessary for others, and there are circumstances in life when we have to stand up for others as well, implies this level of self-trust, the ability to think, I live in the name of truth. I do not live in the name of appearances. And appearances, in order to keep appearances alive, we have to lie, at least to a certain degree, because we cannot be that perfect. And with increasing untrustworthiness in oneself and the others, the very fabric of the society, of the community, of any over individual structures falls apart. Yeah? So even if we live in huge urban centers, in metropolises, we still need to trust each other, even if it's at the level, well, if I have to cross a street and the traffic light is green, I trust that the cars or the car drivers are waiting until their own light becomes red, their own traffic light becomes red. So at this level, we need trust in ourselves and in others. And trust without telling the truth is not possible. So, and the first step in understanding the situation is developing awareness and trusting, having the courage to face that awareness. We all know when we lie. We all know when we don't say the truth. We all know when we hide the truth. And Dostoevsky has famously written in the past that if you keep on lying, at some point you will start believing in those lies. And recent research shows that the brain suffers some changes, some neurological changes when we lie. So it can become pathologic, and pathological lying is a huge problem in this concern. So what I want to say is that we need courage to face the truth of lying, or at least of not telling the truth, or of hiding the truth. And it's not so much so in opposition or as a difference to other, well, antisocial or not so pro-social behaviors, laziness or backstabbing. For lying, you don't need a lot of questions and a lot of self-questioning in order to understand that you are lying. You just have to look at what you're saying or writing or how you're communicating to realize that you are lying or that you're not telling the truth. But the first step remains, as in all these situations where we realize our life is not going the way we'd like it to go, and Lying is part of it, so we are part of the problem why our life is not going the way we would like it to go. So self-awareness is actually a very easy step in case of lying. So the second step is that let go of the need to either avoid conflict by agreeing with whatever the other person or the other persons is saying. So let go of this need to control the others, because when we try to avoid conflict by lying, is actually trying to control the reactions, the interaction, or the reactions of other persons, or our own interaction with other people. And let go of the control when you try to change the truth so that you feel better in your social cultural environment. These are the major reasons why we either to avoid conflict or to embellish ourselves. So lying, as I said, or changing the truth is mostly caused by this need to appease others, and has the short-term benefit of smoothing up circumstances, but is extremely detrimental and extremely destructive in the long run. The same goes for embellishing ourselves. How long does it take until people realize we are not as fantastic as we pretended to be? Apart from the fact that actually they develop envy towards us, and envy is a very toxic emotion. Yeah. So we actually should. It's a good idea, not should, but it's a good idea to try to avoid envy instead of creating it in others or bringing people to the position in which they hate, they envy us. And the third step, which is actually has two phases, is make the conscious decision that you want to stop lying, respectively that you want to start telling the truth. Well, this is based on the advice of Jordan Peterson. So, like, if you feel you cannot tell the truth, start smaller, by doing your best not to lie. So every time you feel the need to lie, stop, breath, as Andrew Huberman advises based on scientific results. Inspire twice, shorter, and then expire once, very long. I think he calls this the psychological sigh, which we do instinctively when we cry and we are trying to stop crying. Yeah, something like, yeah, and then wait. In an overwhelming amount of cases, simply not saying anything is much better than saying a lie. Even a white lie, which at a later point proves catastrophic. So the idea is, at the same time that you let go of trying to control your environment, you also stop in doing what you reflexively would like to do, which is lying. So most of the time, just not say anything, breathe twice and once long, and expire once long, and then just wait. And make the conscious decision as often as you can and as strongly as you can to stop lying and to start telling the truth. And once you have made this decision, allow your subconscious to do the work. Do not try to control the outcome. Do not try to say, I'm going to stop the lie. No, I am stopping it. And please give me the solution. So it's very important that you make this conscious decision and then you order it to your subconscious. And your subconscious will find the best ways to bring you to that state in which you have the courage to tell the truth. So stop lying and start telling the truth is very much about the courage to face the truth, the courage to accept that truth, and the courage to live in the name of that truth. But as a final step, just take that very conscious decision and order it to your subconscious, and your subconscious will find those solutions. Trust this, because this is what is going to happen. You can have like little in-between goals. So every time you feel like lying, just stop and breathe, and either you keep silent or you simply say, I don't want to talk about this. But this is already next level. Yeah, this is already next level. The first level is to make the decision, to make the very conscious decision absolutely immovable decision that you start telling the truth and that you stop lying. And do your best not to allow for any exceptions, because once you will start allowing for exceptions, the subconscious will become confused. So that would be for today. I hope this helps. It has helped me tremendously, this protocol, to stop telling lies, even small ones, which seem practical and comfortable at times. I hope it helps you as well. And I hope you find some insight into my statements. As always, thank you for listening, and I'm looking forward to welcoming you here very soon again. Love and peace to you all.